Hi there, I'm Aidon, and I will be playing Gabriel Monroe, the Finblood, he, him.
Hi, I'm Aubrey, and I'll be playing Alannah Roth, also a Finblood. We both use she, her pronouns.
Hello, I'm Solomon, and I will be playing as Alexander Gladstone, the Finblood, he, him.
Hi there, I'm Termite. I'll be playing Ivy Reed, the Finblood. We both use she, her.
Hello, I'm Bloodied Porcelain, and I will be playing the Lady, the Zemitzi Archbishop of the Sabbat. We both use she, her pronouns.
Hello, I am Lux. I play Baron Bane of the Anarchs, and we both use he, him.
And my name is Legacy, and I will be your storyteller for the evening. When we last left off, you had all left the Satin Raven, a Camarilla ran jazz club, and one of the many business fronts for the Prince of London. You made some connections with a Ravnos of the city after doing a job for Big Mike. She tells you a little bit about the Anarchs. And you all eventually go your separate ways. The next morning, or evening, you all decide that it is time to meet up at the Skull and Sage again. Alannah gets a surprise visitor of that Ravnos that she had met the night before, wanting a tattoo. She recalls her offer of finding you a proper teacher for blood sorcery. Gabriel decides that it's time for him to cash in on his religion and decides that it is time for him to take the class that the lady had offered the coterie, inviting the rest of the coterie with him, and 3 of the 4 of you accepting and 1 deciding against. When you arrive, it is empty, with the exception of a few lingering Canaanites. Gabriel and Calliope exchange a couple of gifts and share a tender moment before going in to speak with the lady privately. It is there where Gabriel decides he is ready to commit himself to the Sabbat, and the lady gives him some information about his sire. She states that there needs to be some form of communication between him, Giovanni, the head of the Hecata clan of London, before she's willing to take him in, out of fear that he will meet the same fate as his sire. You are all then invited into the ladies' chambers for a class. So we are going to pick up there. Where Alexander and Ivy, you two are in this lobby area waiting for someone to point you in the direction of where it is you're supposed to go. You two have a moment to talk amongst yourselves. If there's anything that you would like to discuss.
Do you think he's okay in there?
I think so. I get the feeling things would be a bit more hectic if he wasn't.
It's fair.
But I get the feeling this is going to be an interesting conversation.
I get the feeling it's going to be a long night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you two have...
We definitely need to go see Bane after this.
Agreed.
As you two have this small conversation between the two of you, a very handsome man with dark skin and long braids, half of them tied up into a sort of messy knot. He's dressed nicely, but not too nice. And he wears a couple of necklaces that are adorned around his neck, and some beading is laced within the braids. And when he approaches the two of you, he offers up a wide smile, not hiding his fangs. The lady will see you now. Please follow me. And he turns and begins to just walk forward.
Alexander will follow along.
Yeah.
And he leads you into the chambers in which Gabriel was led into, not super long before you. And you see him and the lady. And as you two make your way inside, you see a couple of more K-Knights looking your way, kind of sizing you up slightly. The one who catches the eye more than the other seems to be Alex. And I'm not going to make you roll anything. You can probably tell it's because of the natural muscle mass. He already seems like he might be gifted physically. And so they're kind of sizing him up just a little bit more. The one who keeps her eyes on you the longest is Calliope. And as you are shown in, Comey will shut the door once you two get comfortable, and we'll just simply await for the lady's next orders.
Is Comey staying in the room, or did he step out?
He's staying in the room.
Okay. Well, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All children of Cain are welcome. So, before we go out and join others for the sermon, and they'll start when I tell them to. Before we begin all of that, I feel like there might be some context missing around a request Gabriel has made of me, but he wanted you present.
Okay.
I'm given to understand you all got yourselves into some trouble with the Camarilla.
That's certainly one way to put it.
At the very least.
Gabriel has requested my protection from them, but I can't promise protection if I don't understand exactly what I'm protecting against and what the situation is.
That's entirely
Look,
understandable.
What were we told? We broke 3 traditions?
Possibly more. I wasn't really paying attention. I was mostly just waiting for that, and that's why the decision. The biggest one I'm told is the fact that we attacked one of their members.
Who
Such as he was.
naked?
He was the owner of the bond towards Alannah.
I see. Walk me through what happened, if you would.
Would you like to handle this, Ivy, or should I?
I handled it last time.
I got it this time. We were planning to meet up together as we usually do to discuss what we wanted to do with the evening. Ivy and myself met where we usually do, but we had not heard from Alannah. We had heard from Gabriel quite quickly. Alannah had been quiet, given the fact that our members of our kind are going missing these current nights. We were afraid for what that could mean.
Reasonable.
And so we decided to check out where she would be. We had been told that she was with her. She used the word boyfriend. However, to us, he was just the one that was holding the blood bond over her.
Given that she was blood bonded, that implies she'll kind of tilt her head, questionable amount of consent. Call him her Domitor. Continue.
Domitor. Thank you. So we went and picked up Gabriel. Unfortunately, I was seeing red by this point, hearing about this individual and the fact that he had such power over her. I did not speak to Gabriel properly as to what we were planning to do once we got to him. We arrived at his place and broke in to find them in an undressed state. I went to remove him from Alannah and he went for a knife. Gabriel took this as a sign of aggression and attacked him. He attacked back and a fight broke out. Short one. Didn't last very long after I put him on his ass.
And you didn't tell Gabriel what was going on?
No. As I said, I was seeing red and not thinking straight. That was on me.
Yes. On the both of you, really, if you were both there.
Correct?
Indeed. Correct. I'm not going to deny it.
No.
We halted the fight to tell him that his own boons had come due. And then he responded by provoking me, telling me not to even look at Alannah, treating her like a thing, like a bauble in his apartment, not a person. And then Alexander smiles a little bit. I told him that I had learned what diablerie was, and then the fight broke out again.
Throughout most of the recounting, she looks calm, kind of placid and serious. There's a moment where she looks kind of visibly concerned and maybe a little disappointed when you both acknowledge that you didn't tell Gabriel what was happening. But when you bring up diablerie, there's just the faintest, and you get to feel like she's allowing you to see it because she's usually pretty stone-faced. The faintest little smile at the corners of her lips. Well, it's good to know you learned something from our meeting.
Indeed. Though, admittedly, I would have preferred to just ash him. I find him to be disgusting. Not worth the whole ordeal. However, Alannah asked us not to, so Gabriel, Alannah, and I left, and I believe Ivy put him into torpor and left as well.
Curiosity, what clan is he?
Toreador?
Oh, well then it's a good thing you didn't diablerize him. That would have been a pity for you.
Truly.
I wouldn't call the Toreador clan to look up to for someone with your skills.
Understandable.
That being said, all right. Now that I have a better understanding, for right now, Gabriel, the promise I can make you is this. If you are in my domain and you keep us apprised of where in the domain you are, you will be under our protection. Which means that if the Camarilla so much as set foot into my domain, whoever it is will die violently. That being said, for your other request, I can make a call and have at least the most important person in London for the Hecata come and swing by this evening for a conversation to discuss what you had in mind. At least if it's happening here in my, and she'll kind of gesture around her, my place of business, he'll behave himself and hear you out. And I think I can convince him to let you go if that's what you want.
It's not that I want to abandon him or anything. I just think, from what I've seen, Sabbat seemed to be a good fit.
I agree. And I don't think if we handle this correctly, it'll be seen as an abandonment. We've worked with the Hecata before. So it's not like you'll never have the opportunity to see or talk to them again.
Maybe this can be just another new bridge between the Hecata and Sabbat.
Indeed. If that is what you want, I will have Comey make the call and see if he can join us.
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
And she'll kind of look over at Comey and give a little nod. Mm-hmm. Make it clear that this is a friendly request, not a wartime proposition at all. You know how paranoid they can be.
And he just bows his head and makes himself and steps out of the room.
The two of you, just here for mass?
You offered to teach us, and I want to learn as much as I can. I'm sick of being in the dark about things.
You'll nod. Well, mass is a good start. I won't be the one giving it. That's not my position. One of our bishops will be providing the service, but I'm told that he's got an interesting topic, one that is near and dear to all Sabbat hearts. What makes us like the Dark Father, but also allows us to be loyal and equal to one another.
Interesting.
Did either of you have any questions while we wait?
Alexander will look to Ivy since he's been doing a lot of the talking so far.
I don't have any that come to mind.
I have one that's a bit more out of curiosity than any real need. You mentioned Cain a lot. Where does Cain fit into this with, like, the concept of God and the curse itself?
Ugh.
Or even, I've heard that there are even other beliefs that use Lilith, I think was the name I'd heard.
There is. Those who follow Lilith are misguided, but for understandable reasons. Cain is the first of us. The first, the strongest, the exemplar of all that the rest of us should strive to be. He is the one from whom the different clans and their gifts spread. The antediluvians were his children. They were the first of the different clan lines. We teach in our church that one should always be striving to be more like him. His teachings are quite clear. Strive to be stronger. Never fail to instruct others, your other brothers and sisters, when the opportunity arises, and never fail to take the opportunity to learn. Don't disrespect other students of Cain. He teaches us how to be one with our beast instead of bottling it up until it becomes a problem. How to direct it. Teaches us not to deny what we are, not to deny our needs or our nature. And to find ways to test ourselves. Find odds that seem insurmountable tonight and make sure that they're not insurmountable tomorrow. And to not give in to fear. You have to master it. It's an instinct and a good one to listen to, but it is not one that you should allow to control you, because when you allow it to control you, you cease to have control over your beast.
Okay. Thank you.
Lilith was Cain's companion. She, well, depending on who you ask, the story is different. But for a time, she walked beside him and soothed some of his loneliness.
But not for long.
That is debatable. The texts are unclear how long they were together. Some say that Cain is still walking. Some say that Cain exists but is in torpor waiting for the day that he is meant to return. Lilith is, and she'll kind of make a gesture with her hand, important to the stories but unimportant in modern nights as far as I'm concerned. We see no reason to believe that she's still around.
Is the day of his return meant to be a good day or a bad one?
Well, that depends on who you ask. I personally see it as a good day. The days that the antediluvians return is a bad day. Because they'll just eat all of us.
Oh, cheery.
One of them has already done it. Before you were born. Most of their clan is gone now because of it.
What clan is that, if I may ask?
Ravnos.
Huh.
And their particular gifts are forever altered. By that experience, they can't stay in one place for very long anymore. They have to move around all the time. Because the antediluvian returned, consumed as much as he could before he was destroyed, and broke the chains that bound them to one another as a family.
It sounds sad, honestly.
In hindsight, at the time it was kind of tilt ahead. Terrifying.
That's understandable.
You sure you have no questions, Miss Reed? You're very quiet.
No, I don't think I have anything to ask.
Very well. Anything else, Mr. Gladstone? Miss Dr. Monroe?
I had nothing else. I was just curious about, the hierarchy of the religion in terms of Cain and Lilith and God and all that.
She'll kind of roll her eyes a little bit at the comment on God again. There is debate. Very little within our church, but other churches, other forms of believe that there might be a God. I've seen no evidence of it. I think the Dark Father is as close as it gets.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Of course.
Lady, I was wondering, do you have to be strongly religious to be a part of the Sabbat?
Yes and no. You have to follow the doctrines. That's very important. We have particular gifts and rights that we utilize to do things like make sure that we're not subject to blood bonds in the future. those are all, at their core, religious experiences. However, the level of religion one might find in the Sabbat varies. Your friend Calliope is not one I would call particularly zealous, but she believes in the cause and is loyal, and at the end of the day, that is the most important thing.
Good. I don't know if I can be a strong believer, but I promise if I do join, I'll make sure to do my part. That is.
People tend to see the benefits of the faith once they've been around it long enough. I have no doubt that you'll find your way to the truth.
Gabriel kind of just smiles at that and gives her a polite nod.
The lady will kind of look back towards the door to see if Comey is back, because it doesn't seem like they have any more questions.
And after a moment, he does return, putting a cell phone into his pocket and say, it is done. He will be here within the hour.
Perfect. Well, I made the request that this mass not be overly long for the sake of our guests, so perhaps we have mass now. Let you hear the good word, and we'll speak with your friend from the Hikata once he gets here, yes?
Yes. That sounds perfect, actually.
All right. And she'll stand up and lead the way out of the office. And into kind of the big main room where you saw like those clusters of people. Most of them were kind of, moving in and out of like little curtained off areas to the side. All of the curtains are open tonight, and you can see like little booths with tables where people probably hang out when the place is actually like operating as a business. All the tables that are typically tables and decor that are typically kind of in the middle of the room have been moved elsewhere, and it's just chairs. And there are a significant amount more people here than there were when you first arrived. They're kind of all walks of life. You see people in like denim and biker leathers. They've obviously made an effort to at least like try to look nice, but you get the feeling they probably don't have the kind of funds to buy super high-end outfits. So they've just sort of made themselves look reasonably presentable. And there's people in, like custom-made designer suits and dresses. Some and kind of everything in between. But there's a fair number of people. There's at least a few dozen.
ST.
Yes.
Gabriel's met the Anarchs. Gabriel's met the Camarilla. Gabriel's met a number of different kindred. Mm-hmm. Does he recognize anyone in this crowd?
So the first person that you recognize that's within this crowd is, your friend. She's kind of standing off to the side a little bit, awkwardly watching everybody. I'll say, give me wits and streetwise roll. Let me see if you recognize any faces.
Can I actually can I do the same?
Yeah, all three of you can make the
Excellent.
Make that check.
Let me know if you need me to add any pictures to the reference channel.
got 3.
2 successes from me.
3 as well.
Wonderful. So you all see a lot of different walks of life. There are a couple of faces that the 3 of you have seen around. Ivy.
Yo.
Those 3 Thin Bloods
Huh.
that you saw at the club are there. And it's almost perfect because as you're looking at them, the guy, the tall and kind of lanky guy that you were introduced to makes eye contact with you and then kind of looks away, turns and puts his hands into his pockets. He's one of the ones that's kind of wearing the not super expensive clothes, but nice enough. And the other 2 peer over him to see what he's looking at, see that it's you. They just give you a couple, like a solid wave, and then go back to talking amongst themselves. Alex.
Yep.
You happen to see that Nosferatu that works for Big Mike. Tall, kind of gangly one. Not hiding his nature, seems to be having a brief talk with a couple of other just average looking people. They don't seem to notice you.
Gonna make note of that.
And then Gabriel, there's not really anybody that you're picking up on. Not yet, at least.
Okay. I think Gabriel will kind of walk over to the lady and just kind of almost sheepishly grab a hold of. She's wearing leather. Just kind of poke her on the shoulder a little bit to kind of get her attention.
Yes, dear.
Well, I thought of another question, if it's all right to ask.
Of course.
You talked about how Cain is like a god, and he's very powerful and impressive, I'm sure. But would you say he's a good person?
Kind of pauses at that. I believe Cain is everything his children ought to strive to be. His teachings have never steered me wrong. That being said, I've never met him personally.
Of course. Then, if you don't mind me asking, would you consider yourself a good person?
Yes. I am loyal and protective of my people. I have a deep faith. I believe in breaking the shackles groups like the Camarilla keep on our kind. I think that makes me a good person.
Gabriel kind of smiles at that. Well, then I think me and Kane will get along swimmingly.
So do I, dear. Now, there's no assigned seating. You all can sit wherever you like, with whoever you like. All we ask is that you don't talk during the sermon.
Kind of just nods at that, and kind of like a child would, maybe like the first day of going to church for the first time, will just begin to wander off into the crowd looking for an empty seat.
Right. So are you all going off to find seats, or is Gabriel the lone child in the sea of adults here?
I believe that Alexander is going to try to stick as close to Gabriel as he can, because he doesn't want to lose track of him in this sea of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, we do have that formula up, so we know roughly where each other are.
It's true. Still, I just like keeping an eye on my people.
That's fair.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna go and find the 3 people that I've recognized and sit by them.
Okay.
The lady will kind of briefly make eye contact with Calliope and just sort of like a gesture with her head towards Gabriel, kind of giving her tacit permission that she doesn't have to be on guard, because her friend is here. And then she'll kind of like turn and she'll mingle a little bit. She'll kind of stop in and talk to a couple of people. Like she stops and talks to the Nosferatu that Alexander recognized cordially. She'll stop and talk to a couple of other people that y'all don't know. And eventually she will make her way over to a tall man with long, pale blonde, like perfectly straight, slicked back hair. It like comes down to like his past his shoulders, and he's in a very, very immaculately cut suit. And for a moment as they're talking, she looks more relaxed, a little bit more, I don't know if comfortable is the right word, but a little bit less stoic and stony as they chat and take seats kind of towards the back, but they're one of the little alcoves, like the table has been pulled out and the chairs have been put there so that they're slightly above everybody else in kind of a, I hesitate to say quote unquote place of honor, but slightly set apart from everyone. Probably because she owns the place and wants to see everybody. So, but they'll sit there.
Alex and Gabriel, as the two of you are looking for a seat, the moment that she's given permission from the lady, Calliope will approach the two of you and just beckon you to follow her. She finds a seat that is sort of in the middle, where you're blended in just enough. And she'll just take a seat And it also gives the two of you a view of the different, like a real good view of the different types of people that are here. And you see all walks of life. You see the stunning, the ugly, the ones who look like they've been torn up through war.
Faith finds all kinds.
Mm-hmm. One person seems to be making notes in a little black journal. Talking with the man who brought you in to the lady's office originally. And then you see Isabella, the lady's right-hand woman, kind of doing her rounds, making sure that people are seated before standing off into the back. A bishop makes his way towards the front, carrying a book that looks tattered and worn. We are going to swing back to this scene in just a moment, where we are going to now kind of go into Alannah.
Yes.
You and Becky are the two of you are just vibing. Like every now and again, she's just taking pictures of the process in which you're tattooing. She seems super relaxed. She seems to be taken to the pain quite well. She'll crack a gray. Mind if I show this to my boss?
Go for it.
Cool. And she is going to take another picture. And you even see the text message. It's the picture with a bunch of heart eye emojis. And underneath is a text that just says, "It's finally happening." Once she sends off the text, she puts her phone in her pocket and looks back up to you. So, what got you into tattooing?
Well, funny enough, I used to be a bit of a street artist like you. And then I tagged this guy's building, and he, instead of getting real pissed at me, he was like, "Hey, do you want to learn how to tattoo?"
Oh, fuck yeah. Listen, I'm no flower, Toreador, rose, whatever the fuck they're called. But I can appreciate a good piece of art, you know? I think that people are just so uppity nowadays. Nobody likes to have fun, so being able to go out and just do art like that is kind of nice.
Yeah. I do sometimes miss doing, street art and stuff. I never did anything fancy. It was honestly a little bit more of a way to just quietly rebel against my parents that turned into an actual job.
Oh my god. Next time I go tagging, why don't I take you? I've got a bunch of colors and everything.
Sure, yeah, no, I would. I think that would actually be kind of fun. Haven't done it in a while.
I'm always looking for people to do it with. It's more fun with friends, in my opinion. I tried to get my buddy Charlie to do it with me, but he's a bit of a stickler. Gangrel.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably, hopefully, much more fun than Charlie will be in that moment.
Yeah, don't worry. Most people are more fun than Charlie in any moment. He's a bit of a daddy's boy.
I can kind of understand that. Yeah, it's you've been in London for a while.
Only my entire life, so God. How old am I again? Jeez.
I mean, I spent pretty much my entire life in LA. I understand.
Yeah. It kind of sucks though. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Can't stay in one place super long.
Yeah.
It is unfortunately just the thing that kind of sucks about my people. When way before I was embraced, apparently our big parental figure, antediluvian, I guess is what they're called, whatever, decided that he was gonna pop back up and eat a bunch of my kind. So,
Lovely.
yeah. Shit was kind of scary from what I was told. Doesn't matter, really. So because of it, our powers kind of got fucked with. And now I literally can't I can't sleep in one place for more than a night per week. So like if I slept here tonight, I wouldn't be able to sleep here again for another week.
Oh god, that's horrible.
It's not bad. I got a van. It's fine. I got my birds. I got my boy toy. He watches over me. Life's good. No, at least it's as good as I can make it, you know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're all kind of on the fuck train for one reason or another.
That's a way to put it.
I mean, it's the honest way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, there was someone till literally incredibly recently.
I'm sorry. It's okay. I mean, ghouls die all the time. Not that that's okay, but you know, like, not that I'm saying that it's okay to like just kill people, but unfortunately, that's just in the line of work that we're in. But
It wasn't a ghoul or anything. And as far as I know, he's not dead. He just got himself tortured, and we can't find the body.
Oh.
Yeah. You hear anything about possibly Toreador going somewhere, traveling somewhere?
I'll put Toreador traveling anywhere.
About 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago. I mean, there's a lot of dead bodies out there. Oh, torpor bodies. My bad. They don't like the big D word until it's done. But I don't know quite off the top of my head. Unfortunately, unless he's one of us, I tend to stay out of other.
Yeah, he wasn't an Anarch.
Got it. I'm going to guess Tower.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, darling. If you don't mind, I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love. And I do this for everybody that I kind of vibe well with. The Tower are kind of assholes. If this guy had you blood bond, it wasn't for the right reason.
Yeah.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure that your friends mean well, but I don't know if any of them had this talk with you. You know, they're not Not that they can't be my friends, but I don't know. You and I just kind of vibe well. I like you.
Yeah. We've got a thing. It's good. Thing going.
Yeah, it's good. Eventually, it'll fade. And I know that what I'm saying probably doesn't mean a whole bunch now. But when it does, it'll make sense. I was in your shoes not super long ago. And coming out of it was awful. It was so bad. It was with someone in the tower too. Like, everybody says that they want their freedom, but you never truly want your freedom until you've lived in bondage of someone else's whims. That's why I'm an Anarch. Kind of sucks to have to rely on someone for your own happiness. I've been there.
I think that's all I've ever done, even when I was alive.
You ever try living for yourself?
I honestly don't know.
Do you mind if I ask you something?
Sure.
What does Alannah want? Not what do your friends want? Not what does this Toreador guy want? Not what your boss wants or the people that are in your ear constantly. What do you want?
I want a tattoo. One of the things I did do for myself when I learned, I really loved it. Putting permanent art on people's bodies, it was fun, and I think I got a little more than a little addicted to getting art on my own body. And I want to learn blood magic. That's something that I really want to, because it's fascinating to me as just somebody who kind of just had a passing interest in the occult when they were alive, and the fact that the blood can be so powerful and contain this innate magic is fascinating. I want to know what it can do. Currently, I can use it to climb walls and occasionally melt things.
Okay, but that's actually really cool. That's a super useful skill. Being able to just climb wall.
It's kind of gross how to do it. But I'm getting used to that part. But it is very useful to be able to just be like, nah, fuck it, I'm out. Climbs the wall.
Huh. I know that there's like another way to get that. The ones that like to kick trash cans, the Bruja, they're really good at it. You like sink your claws into like walls and stuff, and you just use that. I've seen a couple of them do it. It's kind of nasty. But
and it's certainly less destructive.
Probably. But if that's what you want to do, if you want a tattoo, if you want to just be able to live, who's stopping you?
I think myself.
Well then, honey. In the words of a infamous drag queen from the States, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love anyone else?
I think that's something I've been puzzling for a while. She currently has the wedding ring on a sort of like a chain around her neck, and she sort of with one hand kind of plays with it and saying there was someone I guess I never really got to the point where I could see if I could be like that with them.
That's usually when it's worse, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a wild year and a half. And now it's been almost 7 months, and I'm pretty sure they think I'm dead at the bottom of the Thames.
Maybe that's your chance for a fresh start then. You can still love someone and know that maybe a little bit of distance is good.
Yeah.
And hey, if it means anything, like there's a lot of hot kindred out there. Like, and I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking like some really nice looking women too.
Sure. Yeah.
If you roll that way, I don't like to make assumptions about people's.
Yeah, I swing both ways.
Oh, there you go. But the most important part is, Alannah, you're not going to make it far in this world if you don't have the love for yourself that you deserve.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, all saying is, if you figure out what the fuck happened to one Logan Adair, please let me know.
Yeah.
What?
That just sounds funny name. Kind of sounds like somebody I went to college with, actually.
At least even if we go our separate ways, I would prefer he don't just spend a lot of time torpor or end up in the wrong hands, you know?
I'll ask around. I'll see what I can find.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is, a lot of our sect doesn't really care about the tower. I mean, there's a whole thing with it, but I will keep my ears out.
Yeah, that's
Not much I can promise you.
That's all I'm asking, really. Just if you hear anything, let me know.
Yeah, and can you promise me something?
Sorry.
Do things that you'd like.
I'm doing something I like right now.
Yeah, and it's coming out so fucking badass. God. I miss this. This is the stuff that I miss. Yeah. You know, I didn't really care about things like grocery bills or rent. But this is
Yeah,
what
I could do
miss.
without grocery bills.
I could do without most bills.
That's fair too, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't legally exist right now, so I don't pay bills.
Hey. As long as you've got the basics in life, you're pretty much set. And you hear a phone go off, and she looks down. Do you mind if I just take this really fast?
Yeah, go. I'm gonna stretch for a second up and
Yeah. And she walks out of the she stands up, kind of like adjusts herself, keeps her shirt up and like kind of like tucked under her bra. And she steps out for a moment and kind of gives you a little bit of space to stretch and like metaphorically breathe.
Yeah. I'll check my phone and make sure I've not gotten any 911 texts from the rest of the coterie. Like, please come save us. This is a cult.
Your phone looks perfectly clear. Couple moments later, Becky comes in and there's someone who follows in right behind her. And you've met this gentleman once before, the Baron of London.
Good evening, Miss Roth.
Oh, hi. What brings you by?
I wanted to speak to you, preferably in private.
Me?
The one and only.
I mean, we've kind of got the run of the place. I mean, there's a spot in the back. It's got couches. We can sit down.
Sure.
I'll sort of take a second, stand up, pull off like the gloves, and walk into lead Bane into the back, and just tell Becky, it's like, I'll be right back.
Sure.
And sort of gesture and say, can I get you anything?
No, thank you, Miss Roth. And I think it's at this point, Alannah, you do see that he's carrying a few books in his hand. Just under his arm. Don't look to be big ones. Some of them are just a few sheets of paper, but he just have a slight smirk on his face as he speaks, as he will gently sit down and take a seat.
I'll sit probably sort of next to you on the couch.
May I ask why you're all here alone? Where is the rest of the coterie that are called the Chucklefucks?
I'm working tonight, and they're probably going and making another horrible mistake. Kind of our brand.
I wouldn't expect anything less from people that do not know how it works yet.
Yeah, it's a real trial by fire.
Yeah, especially us. We don't like fire.
Oh, definitely not.
But the reason why I was here is because I was hoping to catch all of you, but if it's just me and you, I guess I can have this conversation now. I've heard a little something that you were interested in blood magic.
Yeah, it's my sire is a Tremere, so I've kind of gotten exposed to a little bit of it.
I understand. May I ask how in depth you are with this power?
Honestly, I feel like I'm only scratching the surface. It is one of those ones where it kind of needs to be taught, and I've sorely been lacking a teacher. There was someone who had promised to teach me things, but unfortunately they are not in a place to do so right now.
He nods. I understand. I do apologize to hear that. If that is the case... You see him think for a moment. Would you still be interested in the gift that I have then?
I take it the books?
Book. As he basically takes one of the books. It looks to be like just it looks almost like he's it's almost like a faceless cover, just like a black leather bound book. As he will hand it to you. This contains, from what I know and what I've been told by my people, is some of the fundamentals of blood sorcery, but also maybe a few rituals as well.
Okay. And she is trying not to seem as excited as she actually is.
Is it? Would I be able to make an insight check just to see, or is it like visible that she's trying to hide it?
I think it's visible at this point that she's trying to hide it. She's come.
Cool.
You've brought her closer to it than anyone else.
I can see that you are, well, excited by my gift.
Yeah, that is. It's putting it lightly.
But then I may have the cherry on top to this gift, but I would rather explain it when the rest of the coterie is here. But I do have other business to attend. As he like gestures to the papers on like the coffee table or like on his lap where he can place them. But may I ask a question? Do you have access to thin blood alchemy?
Me personally, I know that that it's either Ivy or Alex were going to teach me at one point. I can learn it. I decided to push my focuses towards blood magic. Yeah.
He nods. I understand. I only ask because I bring gifts for the others as well that can help them in those matters. But if you don't mind me asking, as he if not, he would like place the papers down and he will like fully turn towards you. How have you been this evening? I believe Becky has showed me the work that you have been placing on her body.
Yeah, it's for me at least. It's been kind of a nice evening. The last couple of nights were incredibly eventful, so it's kind of nice to just sort of ground myself and put art on someone's body like I used to.
You know. May I ask, what are you planning to do on the rest of the evening when you have finished this art?
Well, I had hoped that my coterie was back from whatever they decided to do at that point, and then figure out from there.
Where are they, if I may ask?
Currently dealing with some Sabbat mass thing.
Interesting. I think you can see that puts him in. He does think about that for a minute. Takes it in. That is interesting. That they would go to a Sabbat mass.
I think it's more out of curiosity.
I do not judge them for it. You are, well, the equivalent of the new kids on the block. You don't know what are the rules yet, nor what you should do. So I understand.
Yeah, I was able to kind of weasel out of it by working.
Are you not interested?
No, we first met them a couple of nights ago. We were invited to a party. I honestly thought it was probably power related. It seemed very fancy. Ended up being a Sabbat leader and wanting to sort of get a look at us. And I, in my life, read a lot about true crime, the macabre, a lot on cults, And in the few college classes I ever took, I took a psychology course and talking about the way that cults indoctrinate people. And I was noticing a lot of the same tasks, the same ways that a cult would indoctrinate someone. And not to mention I lost something that was kind of important to me. It was destroyed by one of their members, so I kind of was a little resentful of that.
Are you all right?
I
He
physically
looks like
fine.
genuinely worried.
It was a necklace. It was a gift. They lost control of themselves for a moment and smashed it.
Well, with the gift that I've given you, I hope I can even a fraction fill that void that the person who gave you that gift.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm very excited to take a look at it, and I mean, I'm stubborn enough to teach myself.
No offense, I've caught on to that's how the Tremere work. As he gives a smile.
Yeah, I've always been very stubborn and headstrong, so. But thank you. If there's anything that I can do for you in turn, I would be more than happy to pay it back.
I am not asking for a boon, Miss Roth. I take care of my own. And hopefully, when I need the help, you can take care of me.
Sounds like a deal.
He smiles. Though, I do want to ask you one question.
Yeah.
You see him look at your left hand, seeing that your wedding ring is not there, and then he probably looks at your where it is on your around your neck, basically, and just says, "May I ask why you are not wearing it?"
Alex and I had a conversation a while back about if people saw me wearing it, they might try and go after my husband. He doesn't know anything. He thinks I'm dead. But
Miss Roth,
yes,
you say the word and I will send people to protect them.
thank you. If I think he's in danger, I will let you know. As far as I know, he is just continuing to be a pretty awesome musician.
Maybe one day, then when I have a party, I might as well hire him out. Give you a chance to hear his music.
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
How does she look when he says this? Is she somber?
There's wistfulness, there's sadness, there's also longing.
I think Bane tries to catch your eye, and if you don't look at him, he does reach out to your hand.
Sorry, I got lost in a moment there for a second.
Miss Roth.
Yeah.
Just because we are what we are now does not mean we are not human. be that you love this man or woman, whoever they may be, as he smiles.
I really do.
And then if you will follow me, I will use every asset, every resource to protect him, to make sure that he has a life that he will never forget, and countless memories.
Yeah. I think I'd like that.
You see him smile, and he doesn't take your hand, but he just like squeezes his hand on top of you, just giving you like a reassuring one. Like, he will do this. But he takes his hand away, and he will look at you and say, I will try my best in the future to see if I can get more tomes to expand your knowledge, but for right now, unfortunately, not many of the Anarchs delve into this. So I apologize if it's inadequate.
It's more than I had an hour ago, so I thank you.
He gives a smile. But Mr. Roth, if I may ask, why do you work with Aubrey? Now, I imagine she's just your employer, but I'm just asking if there's any connection there.
I love to tattoo. I am unfortunately not one of the Bloods that can walk in the sun, so finding a place that operates most of the night. I like it here. I can tattoo people at my leisure, and Ariana's been good to me, just as a friend and a boss.
He nods. Me and Arya have talked, and what I need to talk to you and your coterie about may change where you spend your nights.
Okay.
Now, Miss Roth, I will say that this is not a bad thing.
Okay.
This is a good thing. Because I am, as you can say, reaching out a hand to the people who need it most. And I am quite a generous person, if you are on my good side, as you have found out this evening, as he gestures to the book.
Yes, and I thank you.
He nods. Now, do you know when they will be back? Or is it loosey-goosey, they'll be back when they be back? Since, I don't know if you noticed, I've never been to a Sabbat. Calling to the I don't know. Like, you can tell, like, he doesn't care.
Yeah, Alannah's like, well, I also have not been to a Sabbat Mass, so I don't know how long it'll go. But I can, if there's time tonight, which hopefully there still will be, I can when they get back, we can come by the Iron Maiden.
I would love that. Especially, I've just only recently found out by Jess that she loves fucking with Alex, as he smiles.
Yeah, they do make a bit of a fighting pair.
That I do. He just smiles for a second and says, Miss Roth, can I ask you another personal question, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Who is your sire?
My sire is a Tremere. His name. His name is... His name is Damien Monroe.
ST, would I know him?
You would not. He, without going too much into it,
Yeah.
He wouldn't surround himself around your parts of the city.
Yeah, he's more tower.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well. Good to know a name that I can, He gives you a very mischievous smile and say, if I have a debt to collect. And since I'm doing more of his tutoring than himself,
I mean, he's been leaving me on red for a while, so one of us might as well collect a debt.
oh, trust me, I think I will. Whether that be in blood or a bone. As you can see that he is a little bit pissed off when you say that you've been left on red.
And
Alright.
she'll nod at your words.
While Alannah is having a heart-to-heart with Bane, and while Ivy, Alexander, and Gabriel are in mass, mid-sermon, the bishop's talking about the importance of Cain and the blood. Fuck the camera. The lady, the lady sees her second in command approach. Her posture straight, her hands folded in front of her, and she just leans in and whispers, Mario Giovanni is here.
Take him to my office. I'll join you there.
Yes, ma'am. And she leaves and leaves you with Raphael. Raphael looks positively bored. Like he's heard this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah, but it's also his job to make sure that the doctrine is followed and kept in line with what it should be. So
Of course.
I'll lean over and press my cheek to his, and that little snooty European cheek kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And then stand and follow or head towards my office. Kind of walk around the back of the crowd so I'm not interrupting people.
All right. And you walk back to your office, where there is a tall, nicely built gentleman. He wears a handmade suit, but not like poorly made. Like, there was obviously a lot of detail and care and love that got put into his clothing. Everything is tailored to fit him perfectly. Everything is
Mr. Giovanni, lovely to talk to you again.
it is always a pleasure.
I'll walk over and do that, offer him a hand, lean in to do the snooty cheek kiss again.
Yeah.
Please have a seat. Are you hungry?
I've already partaken. No need to worry.
Excellent. I wanted to speak to you about a fledgling that's been under your care. Mr. Dr. Monroe.
Is he causing you trouble?
Oh no, far from it. I find him delightful.
Oh, wonderful. Well, then what is it that I can do for you?
Dr. Monroe has expressed interest in potentially joining the Sabbat. Feels like he's found a home here. We all know how difficult that can be for Duskborn. I told him that it was only polite that we had a conversation before any decisions were made. We don't want to ruffle feathers.
It might be good for you to have some warning. Dr. Monroe owes me a bit more than just a boon or whatever it is that the other sects bother with. Dr. Monroe owes me akin to his life. I saved him when he was without a sire because his sire was a coward, a traitor to the family. I'm sure that you are aware of that, though. I'm sure that he's made you aware. I know that you and I've had that talk, but the boy can run his mouth.
He wasn't aware of his sire's fate. He was why I reached out to you. To find out where his sire was. He didn't know.
Does he now?
He does now, yes. He has a right to know what happened to the man who abandoned him.
I do not disagree. We merely kept him away from the sire because I'm sure that you know, and I'm sure that your compatriots know. He's a bit of a special boy. He's very talented, very gifted, and the drama with his sire would take away from the things that he needs to do.
It would be a distraction, yes. So he owes you his life, does he?
Yes.
Would you consider making a trade?
And what kind of trade?
Transfer his life debt from you to me. In return, I will help you deal with your Camarilla problem. They've been encroaching on your territory more and more lately, haven't they?
That they have.
And you all in the city struggle for the numbers to deal with them.
Not many of the family decide to reside in this area in particular. We've got numbers in Scotland, but unfortunately, sheep can't help us with the bigger problem.
Well, numbers are something I can provide. My people are trained and prepared for war. Think of the number of family members you could retain. You didn't have to throw them at a aggressive problem like the Camarilla in quite so many numbers. And it isn't as if we haven't worked together before, the Hecata and the Sabbat.
That is very true.
I have ever been a loyal ally.
Very well. And what happened when we eventually run them out of the city?
As far as the Sabbat are concerned, your lands are yours. We won't encroach on your territory. None of mine will go there without invitation or dire need. Mm-hmm. And they certainly won't be there to claim anything if they do set foot on your territory.
Okay. Let's talk about land division. And he smiles.
She will give a placid smile back.
We will work it out when the time comes, but I feel like the life of one man, one very talented man, maybe we could throw in just a little bit of a sliver of what you're able to take.
I'm listening.
I can't completely lie when I say that our territory isn't nearly as big as it used to be. My only 5 years ago, the Hecata were one of the only sanctioned sects. Quotation marks around sects. Unfortunately, the Camarilla decided that it was going to try to reclaim some of our land, and we've lost a big chunk. Get us our land back. The boy is yours.
I will stand up and go to one of the side built-ins. Mm-hmm. Pull out a drawer and then pull out a large rolled up piece of vellum and then spread it out on the table, and it is a proper war map of London, split into the different districts. Mm-hmm. What exactly did they take from you?
And he is going to look over to the map.
There are no clear markings on who holds what, by the way. All of the little pieces and stuff that she would normally use for that are put away. She just wants to know what he wants back.
He looks down at it And he points to roughly where Bexley is. Right about there.
Out of character, looking for Bexley on the map. Oh, yes. That is a ways out. Do you have the people to hold it once we get it back for you?
Of course.
And who currently has it?
Yeah. I forget what his name is, but he's got a couple of screws loose in his head. Some prince who thinks that he can reform the Camarilla. Something.
Ah. So he's Tower. Understood.
Yes.
Well, I think, provided that your people are willing to provide support in that effort, you have talents that even some of mine don't have. I think between the two factions we can push them out rather cleanly. Who do you usually have calling the shots at wartime?
We are in tight bonds with our brothers in Scotland.
The Dunson, yes?
Yes. One of their kind in particular has a knack for war. We might send him down.
You should do that. I think if we put our heads and our means together, we can deal with the Camarilla threat. In return, we have an agreement that you all will leave Sabbat lands alone. Come to our aid if we need you. And Dr. Monroe is free to come to us unhindered. Yes?
You have yourself a deal.
Perfect. I look forward to it.
As do I. It is always a pleasure. But I do have some things that I must tend to now, and some other things to think about. Do send the boy my regards.
I will. On the off chance you have anyone among your number who might be willing to be a mentor in the arts, and you are willing to allow them to, I would be happy to make arrangements with them. Individually, of course.
We will see what I can come up with.
She'll nod a little bit, roll up the map, and walk him to the door so that Isabella can see him out. It was lovely seeing you again, Mr. Giovanni.
Pleasure is all mine. And he is going to reach into his breast pocket and pull out another card if he needs to get in contact with us for whatever reason. Pass along the card to him if you wouldn't mind.
Of course, happy to do so.
And he, taking Isabella's lead, exits the premises. We are going to cut it back to Ivy, Alexander, and Gabriel. The sermon has wrapped up about now, and the three of you make your way out to out of into that lobby area where again people are kind of collaborating with one another, talking, sharing ideas. Some people are trading notes. It seems oddly peaceful. Out of all the things that you have heard about the Sabbat, this time of camaraderie and just like togetherness is unlike anything else. You don't even see this type of camaraderie or togetherness in the few factions you've met. They seem to be talking with one another. Every now and again, you hear exchanges of information, contact information, stuff like that. But you find yourselves in the lobby with Calliope. And Ivy, the moment that you guys get out of that sermon, out of that room, those three other Thin Bloods that you've met actively try to avoid you.
Of course they do.
Yeah, so do.
I can't remember. Did I get a way to contact them when we first met? I want to say I did.
You did.
Who knows if it still worked, but...
Yeah. That's always up in the air.
Ivy's just gonna find the other two.
Okay. They are with Calliope, who is waving to people as they kind of walk out, people that seem to wave back. She'll turn to the three of you as you make your way towards the group. So, how was that?
Oh, well, I rather like that. There seems to be a deep interest in sharing knowledge, and learning from one another and sharing power, which is quite nice. Wouldn't you say so, Alexander?
Yeah, it's good to know where you're all coming from, your beliefs and everything. Helps to put things into perspective.
It's the church aspect has never been quite my favorite thing about all of this, but it is always interesting to hear the opinions of others who join us for mass.
Well, I have to say that I'm not much of a religious person, but I must confess that I'm a bit of a fan of the community that it seems to have brought together. And he kind of looks out at all of these kind of kindred all coming together, all speaking and sharing information and not tearing each other apart.
She'll nod. What about you, Miss Ivy?
It was enlightening. Shed some light on some things that I didn't quite grasp before.
It helps that the faction itself is diverse. You are able to get a lot of perspectives of what it means to be Kane Knight, not the other word. What it means to be Kane Knight. from, well, every one of us. Those two. And she's just gonna point to like a random, like one very random, beautiful woman, and one not, again, kind of like frumpy looking. One has a bit of like that high class like
Huh?
Huh?
Oh. Are we good?
I'm just checking in on you. You made a really loud noise.
I think that's my microphone being stupid. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. But you see you see again a very beautiful woman in a kind of frumpy, doesn't look like they take very good care of themselves. But Calliope leans in and says, those who are part of the same pact, I believe that speaking in terms of regular people are married. Devoted to the pact, but specifically devoted to each other. There's a lot of flesh crafters and shadow people. La Sombra, not actual shadow people.
I don't think I've actually heard too much about the La Sombra.
I'm not the most well-versed in their deal, but they are really, really good at like manipulating shadows.
Alexander will glance over to Ivy.
Ivy just kind of nods. Can I see the three thin bloods?
Oh yeah.
I kind of gesture towards them. I assume they're still together.
Yeah.
I kind of gesture towards them. Out of curiosity, what do you know about those three? Have they been around long?
No. I do know two of them are on the run from the Camarilla. They got the Camarilla does this thing where if you're a thin blood and you break too many rules, they brand you. And if you break any more rules while you have that brand, they hunt you down and valorize you. Or kill you.
Yeah, I think I heard something about the whole branding bit. And Alex looks like pissed and also like disgusted.
It's one of the many ways that the Camarilla keeps you in bondage. And I'm gonna have you all roll me a wits and insight check.
Oh boy.
Uh, 4?
1 success.
2.
Okay. You're all able to kind of sense something's up, but Ivy, when she brings up the Camarilla, there is visible anger and discomfort, and it almost is looking like she's trying to hold back a couple of tears. But she has this just stoic face. You with 2 successes, Alexander. Well, even you, the two of you, something seems off when she talks about the Camarilla. Like she's not quite, like she's shy as it is, but this makes her go a little quieter.
Thought those 3 are rather new.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you all right, Calliope?
Yeah. I'm fine. We should go check back in with the with the lady. Want to keep her waiting, and I wouldn't want to keep anyone here any longer than they have to be.
If after we speak with the lady, I was rather hoping that we could have a talk. Perhaps.
Yeah. We can talk.
Kind of just gets a little shy himself and just begins to nod over and over again, and seems to just begin to fidget a little bit.
If the 3 of you wouldn't mind following me.
Of course.
And she walks a couple of steps ahead, but then stops and turns back. She's gonna reach out an arm for whoever wants to take it.
Just like before, Gabriel will kind of like slowly walk up and just kind of slowly take it.
And she'll begin to lead the 3 of you back to the office of the lady. Small knock on the door, and it cracks open ever so slightly. You just wrapped up mass, ma'am.
I'm in.
Thank you. And she'll open the door and lead the 3 of you in.
Oh, excellent. They didn't go running off as soon as it was over. Dr. Monroe, I have news.
Oh,
As an aside, the map is rolled up and put away by the time they come in. I met with Mr. Giovanni.
is he still here?
No, he had other matters to attend to. We had a discussion regarding your situation. You have his blessing to join us. And I was asked to give you this. And she will hand over the card.
He'll just kind of take it with a smile. Oh, have to confess, I didn't expect it to go so well. Was he angry at all?
No, he understood.
This didn't cause any trouble on your end, did it?
No, not trouble. If anything, Dr. Monroe, you opened doors that were previously largely closed to me. So.
Well, seems like everything worked out then for the best.
Indeed, I am going to have a discussion with my bishops regarding your future pack placement. where it'll make the most sense for you to be.
Gabriel will kind of turn his head and look to the rest of his coterie, and he'll just kind of give them like a smile, like this is a good thing. And just curious, what would their reactions be?
Ivy is not looking at him.
Alexander is looking at him and trying to force a smile, but it's very small and very obvious that he's having trouble keeping it up.
I kind of look back at the lady. Well, this takes a lot of my mind. I would have to say that I was quite worried about the Camarilla. Knowing that now the Kata and Sabbat perhaps coming together, this has been a very good day.
Indeed, it has. I will have Calliope provide you with an outline of which parts of the city I need you to stay out of, as they are in Camarilla hands and I can't protect you if you go wandering. But as long as you are in our domain and you only enter Hecata domain with permission, and she'll kind of nod at the card, which I assume is what that is for, to be able to call in case you have need to go there. You should be all right.
Well, I don't know how to thank you for all of this, what you've done for me.
You have begun a new journey in your own life, Mr. Monroe, Dr. Monroe. And I look forward to seeing the growth that you display over time. Once we know which pack you'll be joining up with, I will have your pack priest begin to go over the finer details of joining the faction. Next steps.
He looks a little concerned for a moment and then kind of looks at her. This doesn't mean that I can't be friends with, and he kind of looks back at his coterie.
Oh, no. As long as they don't make themselves enemies, then you are, of course, more than welcome to spend time with them.
Oh. That's very good. And you'll see that he is kind of excited and generally quite happy right now, to the point where he is, kind of doing smiles and little nods and bows and fidgeting, but in not a nervous way, but trying to hold back a celebration or a new wave of maybe just feeling at peace a little bit.
He's stimming.
I have a question, ma'am.
Of course.
What would it mean to become enemies of you? I don't wish to do anything that would get me put on on the other end of a conflict with Gabriel.
As of this current moment in political climate, the one true way to end up on my bad side is to join forces with the Camarilla.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that from either of us.
Good. As of right now, we are not at odds with the Anarchs. They've kept to themselves and out of our territories, and as long as that continues, she'll kind of shrug a little bit. Things are fine.
Understood.
You are, of course, always welcome to attend Mass, come to more lessons, ask questions, and if they are within my power to answer, I will. It is a pity Mrs. Roth didn't join us. I was really hoping to introduce her to someone.
I think it may have been for the best that she didn't join us tonight. She seemed rather busy.
We'll let her know
Yes.
that you missed her, though.
I did get word from a mutual friend who was busy for the evening. I had simply hoped to introduce her to one of the most powerful Tremere I've ever met. But he'll be back out of town by the end of the night, most likely.
A shame.
Indeed. Pity. Well, she'll kind of walk over to Gabriel, do the little double cheek kiss. I look forward to you becoming part of the family. Now,
Do I?
you... Darling Canaanites, go and relax. Have a drink. We have plenty available for those who need it, and of course, Dr. Monroe, we have something in-house for your particular tastes if you should have need of such sustenance. I have a meeting, and she'll kind of nod over Gabriel's shoulder to where that tall blonde man that she was sitting next to is standing talking to... I don't think he's not. Is standing talking to this man. Calliope, consider yourself off duty until your friends go home. Enjoy yourself.
She'll look up at the three of you and give a very delicate smile. We will leave you to your affairs. Thank you again.
Of course.
And she will lead the three of you out.
When she's leading us out, Gabriel kind of follow her along, then kind of freeze and stop, and then turn around, and he'll walk back over to the lady and just kind of hug her, then quickly let go as he says, "Thank you for everything," and just kind of.
When he goes to let go, she'll let him for a moment, but after he says thank you, she will pull him into another hug just a little bit longer and just kiss him on the forehead. Welcome home.
Just gives a smile and then kind of turns around and then walks along with the others.
All right. And the door closes behind the four of you. And Calliope lets out a forced breath.
Are you all right?
That wouldn't a lot better than she's don't whatever the three of you do, don't do anything with the Camarilla. Don't talk to them. Don't Don't even give them an inkling of information. I don't mind the two of you and I. And she'll look at Gabriel for a second.
I just not. I've noticed.
Nothing. No. But even if you do not, join the Sabbat, you have an ally in Blades. With me. I know that might not be much to you. But as long as you are good to Gabriel, you will have an ally who hates the enemy. And she lifts up her dress, and there is a very, very long and actually quite beautifully crafted dagger that clings to her thigh, using a garter. It looks like it's been dipped in silver, and it has a small engravings on the on like the sharpest part of the blade. I know that you wanted to talk to me. If you still wanted that conversation.
Gabriel looks a little shocked as she kind of does this, and then kind of shakes it off. Yes. Alexander, Ivy, if you could give us a moment.
Of course. We'll probably be heading out whenever you're done, so take your time.
Thank you.
And
Anik. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I said first.
She'll look back, and she's going to lead you down a down like a little like hallway that seems to be without people, at least as far as you're aware.
Well, I wanted to that is, I wanted to ask you something. It's something I don't really do, but I think there is something, and well, with the lady and what she, you know, I'm not rather good at this sort of thing. Would you mind if I maybe just write it down?
Yeah, that's okay.
And he'll kind of take out his notepad and he'll begin to write something, then stop and then write a little more and then a little more. And then he's about to hand it over and then takes it back and then writes down one more thing. And eventually he'll kind of hold it to his chest. And then after a few moments, he'll just kind of hand it over to her. And on the piece of paper, it literally just says, "Would you like to go to the movies with me sometime?" and there is 2 boxes next to them that says yes and no, and then one more box underneath both of those that just says, please stop talking to me, you're creeping me out. And they have little ticked boxes next to them.
She'll take the pen that he used to write it with because she doesn't have any pen because dresses for some reason don't have pockets. And she's going to check off one box, fold it up, and slide it into your into the breast pocket of your jacket with a smile. You can read it now if you want.
No, I don't think I have the heart.
Are you sure?
Am I sure about what I wrote?
Yeah.
I think I'm sure. And he'll actually take out cadaver from under his which would be a fancy dinner jacket, and he's just kind of been in there this whole time. And he'll kind of look at him and just say, we think we're sure, don't we, cadaver?
Cadaver's gonna take the note out of your pocket.
Okay.
He's gonna kind of tease you a little bit with it. When you go to grab it, he's gonna climb up to the top of your head. And then when you try off of your head, he's gonna climb down to your shoulder, and then he's gonna jump off of you, and then he's gonna climb onto Calliope and just dangle the note a little bit.
Now, cadaver, if you be good, you can get some popcorn. Now, how about you just hand that back over?
He does a little calling and shakes the note. And you aren't able to see the entirety of it, but you see a ticked off next to the letter Y before he drops it on the ground.
Gabriel will quickly kind of go down to the ground and pick it up, and his eyes are kind of a bit wide, and he'll quickly put it in his pocket. I believe I am sure, and he'll kind of take cadaver off of her head.
Okay. I won't lie. It's been a very long time since I've been to a movie.
Do you have a preference of film?
I hear that they redid Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
For a moment, she probably might see a tear begin to swell up in his eye that he quickly blinks away. Yes, I have been meaning to go see that one myself. That sounds perfect to me.
Okay. Good.
Yes. Very, very good. Well, I will make the arrangements and be in touch.
Okay. I hope that your friends aren't mad at the situation. But I'm happy that you're here.
Kind of looks down at the ground for a moment and then back at her. I'm also glad I'm here.
And she's gonna put a hand on your arm. Even if we aren't put in a pack together, I'll protect you the best that I can. I promise.
And I suppose that if you receive any injuries in protecting me, then I promise that I will always heal you the best I can.
And she looks into your eyes for a moment. And she is going to get on her toes and lean in and give you a kiss on the cheek if you allow it.
He will kind of flinch a little bit, but then seeing what it really is, he'll kind of just let it happen. And afterwards, he kind of is frozen for a moment, but then kind of goes into a nod, and you can see on his face he just doesn't know what to do in this situation. And he'll kind of just look back at her.
I'm sorry.
No, quite all right. Very quite all right. Well,
You should.
my
Yeah, you're.
yes,
Yeah.
my friends are waiting.
I will. I will hear from you soon, hopefully. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like that. Hopefully I get to hear from you soon.
You will. Definitely. You will.
Okay.
And he'll just kind of softly hold her hand for a moment and then eventually release it. And if she begins to walk with him, they'll kind of walk together, but he'll kind of slowly begin to move back to where I'm sure his friends are waiting to leave this place.
Yeah, you make your way back to Alex and Ivy, and are able to collect your phones after class.
When Calliope heads off, Alexander will give Gabriel a firm pat on the back. Attaboy.
He is so disheveled right now that when you pat him on the back, he immediately just hits the ground as you push him over. And then,
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. We need to get back to, yes. And he'll just kind of begin to, like a zombie, begin to just walk out towards the car.
Perfect.
You all managed to get downstairs and out of the vicinity. And the moment that you go to turn your phones back on, all three of you are hit with the "We gotta meet at the Iron Maiden right now."
I mean, it wasn't right now, but
Soon.
Soon,
Tonight.
in all caps, with 4 exclamation marks.
And a 1.
yep.
And a 1.
There's a little gift of the camera panning into like a cat's face with the word "soon" underneath.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we have time. Should still have time tonight, no?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get that done. And Gabriel,
Yes.
I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for coming tonight and being with me.
Anytime.
Of course.
And I do mean that. You need anything, you don't hesitate to say it, okay?
A smile a small one kind of creeps on his face. And he kind of just nods to that. And with all of this happening, he'll start the engine and kind of hit the accelerator, not realizing he's in reverse, and kind of go back and probably hit a bit of stonework behind him, putting a few more cracks in the car. Oh, sorry, this way. And then we'll begin to drive off.
Alexander's just laughing. He's not even just minding the fact that the car got damaged.
Ivy's gonna text Alannah and basically say that we're on our way to the Iron Maiden.
Well, then I guess I have to get over to the Iron Maiden on my own.
I mean, you've got a Bane.
Or
Oh,
yeah,
true.
I figured
I'm
you were
currently-
with Bane.
Yeah, then I guess I will take whatever transportation Bane has.
No, he just leaves. Goodbye. No.
See you, loser.
Later, loser. No. He will
After-
offer a ride.
Yeah, after making sure that Becky gets the ink stuck on permanently.
Oh yeah, Ari's all down for it. She's having fun. There are screams of pain though.
Yeah, I would have warned her about it beforehand. Like, this is probably gonna hurt. You seemed like you were kind of into it, but I'm just letting you know.
Ah, yeah, no worries. What the fuck? Just you hear just like cries out, and Ari just saying, sorry love. Just a whole lot of back and forth between the two of them, and eventually Becky comes out. She's looking feral. She's like, I just want to get out of here. I just want to get out of here right now.
Bane, when she looks like that, I think Bane's kind of like, you gonna frenzy?
No. It just hurts.
He pokes it.
You fucking
Do something.
douchebag. I will stab you.
I'm gonna herd them out of the shop before they damage something.
He just smiles at her, like her torment, but he will look at Ara and say, if you're not busy, I would like you to follow.
Very well. If you all don't mind. Becky's like gritting her teeth. She's like, no, mate, you're fine. Join us. You're cool. You just had. And Ari will look at Alannah with just like, are you cool with this?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. She'll put the close sign or the on lunch, be back sign, and lock up the shop
At 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's lunchtime.
It's girl dinner time, Ivy.
Yeah, girl dinner.
But yeah, Bane will like usher Alannah and Ari into the SUV that he has, that he got driven into by River. Becky can make her own way, and she has a van.
Yeah.
Fuck Becky.
Fuck Becky.
Fuck that.
The audacity.
To the car. No, if he does see the van here, then
Oh yeah, no, she's not even acknowledging your car. She's got her. You get and like Alannah, you see this giant, just beautifully decked out van. It's pink.
Barbie Dream Van.
Oh yeah, and it's got like green and blue flowers just like coating it, and they look spray painted. Like there's like a mural on one side and like the flowers on the other. She's like, all right, I'll follow you.
It's a solid nod. Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, Bane would rise shotgun, leaving Ari and Alannah in the back as they make their way to the Iron Maiden.
I'll say that the God, how many of you are there? Like the 5 of you plus Ari plus Becky, 7. I know how to do math. I'm a storyteller. The 7 of you actually managed to meet each other in front of the building. It seems to be an equal distance from where the ladies' class was and where the tattoo shop is. All of you see each other for the first time in a couple hours.
And Alannah seems to be in a very good mood.
Bane's probably just standing next to her, just with a
Good.
smile.
Ivy doesn't look like she's in a good mood.
Gabriel looks like he's in a great mood.
How was Bible study?
Oh,
A lot more interesting than I
Yes.
thought it was going to be.
yes, things went quite well, actually. And very, very well. Scary sometimes, but I think it is going well.
A lot of you had had the class tonight, right? And she'll lean in and just kind of chuckle. Ari will lean in and kind of chuckle. I just go for the free refreshments, honestly.
That's fair.
Very fair.
It's good. I don't know how they get it, but it's good.
Wherever it is seems to be very resourceful. As you see Bane give almost a smirk at that. But as he just smiles at the coterie, it's been a while. Chuckle fucks.
That's us.
Oh, that name stuck, did it?
Oh,
Apparently.
that's what I'm going to be calling you. If you make a new name, I'm still going to be calling you the Chuckle Fucks.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I mean, yeah. No offense to
But,
the 4 of you, but you know, yeah, okay.
I say this out of
Look at everyone else and just say, Bane showed up at the shop and wanted to talk to us.
let's just
That
say
explains. Well, that explains why you're showing up here with him.
A few moments later, you guys see Barbie Dream van pull up.
God, that's pink.
yes,
Wonderful.
and she is quite in pain. So I don't know whether it's the color or the tattoo that she got. As he just smiles, looking back at the 4 of you. But nevertheless, why don't we head inside, since I do have business to talk to all 4 of you and a good opportunity for the good 4 of you. Ari's here just as a friendly consort, you could say.
Smile.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sure. Works for me.
Yeah, Bane will lead them into the Iron Maiden down towards the pit.
As you guys make your way down to the pit, Alex,
Yo.
I want you to do me a favor.
Oh boy.
I want you to make me a wits and awareness check. Add 2 dice.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna rouse. Why not?
Okay.
I mean, blood's there to be spent.
Ooh. Very nice.
I got 5 successes, and I do not get hungrier.
Wonderful. So just remember, you have an extra die to your wits for the rest of the scene.
Yep.
As you go down, you hear a lot of grunting. And all of you hear this. You know, there's a lot of grunting. There's the sound of like skin hitting skin. You see that same redhead that you met your first time at the Iron Maiden in the pit. And she's in the pit with someone. Alex.
Uh-huh.
You get a good look in the pit because you know that is Jess, the girl that you the who had fought your first time here.
And he kicked my ass, yeah.
Yep. She is in the pit with someone who looks very, very familiar to you. And a little bit of that Ruha anger builds up in you. The face, the shape of the body, the color of his hair, his eyes, his facial structures. This is the man who embraced you in a pit, fighting someone who has offered to teach you how to fight better. And you hear back and forth between them. She's saying, "All right, now duck and roll. Get back up. Again. Duck. Again. Duck. Come on, Tommy. You're better than this." And it doesn't seem like they're paying much attention.
I think that I need to have Alexander roll willpower.
Okay.
I guess he's fine for the moment with 5 successes and
He's
a critical
so
on willpower.
Yeah.
He is holding it together.
fine.
There's time later.
Yeah.
I imagine he's probably going to ask Bane, like, what the fuck?
Fuck, bro.
What the shit? But yeah, he will hold it together and just keep walking, even though he is clenching his fists to the point his knuckles are whitening and look like they might split. Like the rest of him is fine, but his hands are shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of us? Does anyone else notice that?
That's up to Alex to answer.
He's not hiding it, so if anyone looks at him, they'd see that his hands are shaking and his knuckles are whitening.
I think there's a moment when Alannah notices it sort of falls into step next to you and doesn't say anything, but gently she touches your hand with hers, just the back of it, just trying to let you know that he's here if you need it.
His head turns a little bit and the shaking lessens but doesn't stop.
There's a small nod, like, we'll she'll ask about it later, but for now, just get through this.
Ivy's just gonna kind of look up at him. If you want to hit someone, just hit me.
Oh, I'll be hitting someone later, alright. But not now.
How far back are they to have this conversation?
Alexander's not like hanging back, so he's not really like hiding it, aside from just wanting to like keep it kind of quiet.
Yeah. I think you do see Bane looking in your direction. And as he sees this, he doesn't say anything. But you can tell like he just takes a mental note of it as he leads you. But yeah, ST, I imagine Bane would take them into the equivalent of... They don't have conference rooms, so I think it's just literally just a massive room that they just chill out at. That he's probably prepared some stuff to bring up within the conversation. There's probably like a table in the middle of the room with like a bunch of like papers, look to be like documentation, stuff like that. But you can see that he just goes on the other side of the table where most of the paper that it's facing that he can read as he looks down at it. As he watches all of you come into the room. You would see would he have his friend here? You know what? Sure. You in the corner of the room, as he walks in, you do see just sitting there what looks to be a massive wolf. A dire wolf. As he just sits there and looks at all of you come in, as he will walk over to Bane, sitting beside him.
This wolf, when he goes to greet Bane, when you see him, he was on a pink, fluffy bed.
Oh yeah,
And all you see, Bane, is a note over it, and it says, "Thought he needed something shiny and new. Love, Jess."
I think he looks at it, sees the note, reads it, and just goes, "That fucking bitch."
You then look down at him, and he's got a pink collar with like a little bow on it. He looks miserable.
I think I might murder a kindred tonight. As you see him take it off and place it on the table as he like gently pats him on the head.
Yeah, you and me, boss.
That's not why we're here, right?
No, I am not feeding you to my wolf. If anything, let's just say I'm gifting you an olive branch. Tonight's the night you fly the coop. Tonight's also the night that, how do we say, you get a place of your own, gifted by myself. Now, don't all talk at once or thank me at once. As he smiles and continues with, there is something that I do want to bring up at some point as well, but we'll start with this first. As you see, he pulls out 3 files from this pile of documentation and slides them on the other side of the table where all of you are in a row and says, "Pick one. I'll tell you about it. You have door 1, 2, and 3.
I bought
Auto.
door 3 myself.
I was gonna say door 3 as well. Anybody else have any opinions?
Alexander's just gonna grab the third file.
Sure. Would you like to describe it, Legacy, or would you like me to describe it?
I will definitely describe it.
Sure.
So, you all see a massive plot of land. It is covered with different forms of like tree life and plant life. When you look at the actual pictures of the property itself, it is a giant hospital, and it is one of the ones that was left abandoned. And it looks like it has been abandoned for quite some time. The paint is slightly worn. The doors look, they're together. Nothing's boarded up, but it looks worn. The windows are big but tinted out using that black lining tint that a lot of like cars and stuff are that a lot of like auto like body shops will use to like tint car windows. For the dot spread, it is a 3-dot haven. The pictures on the inside have pictures of the following: a nicely designed study that has books of various kinds lining the walls. It has a really nice, nicely implemented, and it still looks sterile, like a surgeon's station. A giant laboratory. Mechanics wise, option 3 is an abandoned hospital with a Porcelain 3. It is a 3-dot haven with a dot of library, a dot of surgery, and 2 dots in laboratory.
Oh, that's beautiful.
As Bane just looks at you and says, "Looks like you take my biggest gift first. What do you think?"
I think that it's amazing.
Well, it's not take first come, first serve. You can look at the others if you wish. But if this is your choice, if the rest
I
of
would
them
like to,
use-
I would like to see the others first.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Right. What door are we opening next?
As he gestures to the folders with both of his arms, just like dealer's choice.
Number 1?
Alexander will just grab the second one.
Okay.
Ivy picks up number 1.
I'll look at the second one over Alexander's shoulder.
Okay. Option number 1. We'll go for number 1. It is a business that is actually conveniently located a couple doors down from our shop. It is it looks like that when it closed down, it was a small boutique, like a clothing store. It's got the bottom part of it has has really nice countertops, interesting light fixtures. There's still some art that's hanging on the walls. Everything that you need in order to run a business. On the second floor, right above it, are a couple of small apartments. There are 2 apartments. Each are 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen. Very, very standard flats. They aren't anywhere fancy. But you have you can kind of get the sense that the top on the bottom comes with the flats on the top, meaning that if you guys wanted to open up your own business, you would have the means to do so. Option 1 is a 2-dot haven with 2 in Leon and 1 in Porcelain. It has 2 dots of security system, and it is a 3-dot business.
Which is also very tempting.
And then option number 2 is a gorgeous house, a single family home on a really nice piece of property, slightly further away from the city proper, but still mixed in enough with it's in like the suburbs. It is a plain white house, but the pictures on the inside, it is decorated to the nines. Luxurious furniture, big TVs, art. There is, again, that beautiful lighting fixture, something that is a sight to behold. There is another luxurious library on there. And it has pictures of the way that it is secure. So option 2 is a 2-dot haven with 2 points in chess, 1 point in Leon, 2 points in Porcelain, with 1 point of library. It is a luxury house and it has a point of security. And those are your 3 options.
I think as they're reading, Bane is literally just leaning, like sitting on the desk, just watching their reactions, just petting his companion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind if you want me to roll an insight to see which one they're leaning towards the most, or just to gather their, just their initial reactions as they read.
Well, let's get the reactions of the 4 first. Like, what are you guys thinking when looking at these houses or potential havens?
Alexander will just look at the file number 2 they picked up, and then he'll look back at the 3rd file, and then to Alannah. I think that one might be really good for all of us. It could help you with your studies, help Ivy and I with our alchemy.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, the house is really nice too.
I'm inclined more towards the house. The laboratory won't help with my alchemy very much, given that it's inside me.
It's true. But it might help for if we teach Alannah and she prefers to do things outside.
Hey, we can always find to add a laboratory to it.
It's true enough.
I do think the added security of the house is...
And it's in an area that, will probably be maybe a little easier to hunt in.
Bane's gonna look at Gabriel. You alright, Dennis? You alright?
Gabriel is kind of holding, or if someone's holding the third folder, he's kind of like peeking over the shoulder of whoever's holding it and like maybe holding on to a piece of it and just kind of, we couldn't possibly accept something so incredible, so expensive. And he's kind of just like saying this, but still eyes are fixated on the hospital, and just like if someone's holding it again, he's kind of just like trying to pry it from their grip, which I guess would be Alexander, but he's nowhere near strong enough.
He is not going to keep hold of it. He will let it go so that way Gabriel can look at it.
And the house has a library itself, and like the hospital is nice, but honestly, living in something like that is, I don't know, feels weird.
I would much rather live in a proper house.
Yeah.
Well, you know that you don't have to live in these, right? Sure, living is an option, but this is just a place for the four of you to meet, to plan, to do research.
That would be good, so we don't have to keep going back to the tattoo shop. No offense, just
I love
your head.
all of you so very much.
And it doesn't mean I'm
you
not gonna...
brought a lot of trouble to my shop recently.
We have, and I will continue working there. But yeah, it will be less trouble we bring there, and always good. I mean, to be fair, that house is, my apartment is nice, but it's got so many problems. It's the problem with old historic places. So I mean, a house like that would be, I would gladly live there.
All I am offering are potential havens. I'm not making you choose any of them. However, I will say with the third option, let's just say I can throw in a little sweetener for a not more than desirable building. As Alannah, you do see him hold the other book that he took with him. As he looks at the rest of the group. Let's just say this will help you with your thin blood alchemy. As he just places it on the table.
And if we were forced to take one of these gifts.
Now, Gabriel, I will fix one part of your sentence, and that being, I am not forcing you to take anything. I am gifting you this. These are plots of land that I need someone to be in. Whether you take, he just
with the hospital, it could be a nice meeting place, but perhaps with some help from some of my friends, it could possibly become a business and maybe opening our own practice. And you see Gabriel kind of shaking at that motion.
I think Bane will smile, looking at you and saying, I have no problems possibly working with your family, Gabriel. It is just that I do not want them to snatch it from you or your rest of the coterie. You know?
I don't see that being a problem anymore.
Why?
Yeah, that's something I was hoping we could talk about at some point.
It's not a secret or anything. I joined the Sabbat now, and the Hakatra have given their blessing, and It all seems to be working out.
I think you see Bane almost just give like a very like toothy smile when you say that you joined the Sabbat.
Oh dear. Didn't we just literally have a conversation last night about making all of these decisions as a group?
We sure did.
The thing is, he said that only he joined the Sabbat. The rest of us have not.
Well, that's good. Or else I was going to have to go into another cult rant.
Gabriel, I'll say this. As long as you don't bring your friends into this domain without the direct permission from all three of the rest of your coterie, I do not mind them stepping on this territory, but you've got to remember this is within my domain.
Oh, of course. I would never betray your trust like that.
He nods. I just wanted to make it very aware, cards on the table, so nothing is skewed with lies and deceit. As he definitely looks at Gabriel, not in aggression, but it's definitely like just to get it out there, like just like cards on the table, basically.
Bane isn't mad, he's just disappointed.
That's one way to say it.
No. All things considered, honestly, I'd rather use the Sabbat than the Camarilla.
The path that is beneath the floor right now.
Yes.
To be honest, if you join the Camarilla, I'll be very surprised, since I did hear that you went into that territory.
We sure did.
Yep.
I'm guessing it went as bad as I'm thinking.
Not as bad as it could have.
Yeah.
I'm not even dead.
Well,
And
yeah, your head is still on your shoulders, but let me guess. Boon, 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 boon. As he just points at all four of you.
Yep.
major.
Major boon.
You know how I know that you were in Camarilla territory? You led them back to my shop. There's a giant dent in my door.
All right.
It's only a door.
It's only a door. Okay, then you can pay for it to get fixed. It's gonna cost you a couple hundred pounds there, bud.
Okay.
With that, Gabriel will actually take out his phone and just show her the people that did it on that he video recorded. I believe these were them.
Darling, do you mind sending me those photos?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh no.
And he'll kind of just begins to do it.
I can't see any way this is going to end well.
Oh.
Furniture
You
shop.
don't. Let me. Yes. Yeah, actually, I have an IKEA built right into my own shop. It's
Sorry. As he looks at her.
I'm cool. I'm all right.
Can we-
Fine. Sorry.
not-
Sorry.
Not,
And
Mhm.
earlier when Bane dropped by, he gave me some books on blood sorcery,
Nice.
so I can make some actual headway with that.
Cool. Now we don't have to go back to dealing with that. What's his name?
Damien.
Douchebag. Yeah, that one.
Oh, trust me. I'll deal with him. And he'll look at you, Alannah. I will not kill him, but I'll definitely give him a good talking to.
Are we talking about Logan or my sire?
Yes.
Well, I don't think Logan will be terribly responsive to talking to right now.
Yeah, I was gonna make.
Yeah, I
that
think it's
joke.
going to be rather
I'm
one-sided.
very sure of that.
To be honest, Bane just looks a little confused and just says, "Who the fuck is Logan?"
Toreador, douchebag, held her blood bond. Well, holds, because he's still alive, I guess.
You're bound to someone? As he looks at Alannah.
Yeah, it was something my sire set up.
Oh, interesting. As he looks at Ari.
She's no rolls needed. She is gritting her teeth. She's gritting them so hard that she looks like she's gonna shatter them. And she's just holding a smile. You do see that her at the mention of Logan blood bonding her nails begin to grow very, very long and very, very sharp.
I think Bane's gonna stand up and basically just get in front of Ari, like in between, like he's gonna get in between like the coterie and her, leaving his companion.
Not going to do anything. Don't worry.
Ari,
Not to them.
Ari, look me in my eye and tell me that you're alright.
If you would mind me, I think I saw a pit outside. I will be right back. She'll stand up.
The best.
And you guys actually begin to see something that none of you, not even you, Alannah, have seen. Small fragments of bone begin to kind of pop out of her spine, and she, her smile, which is usually pretty just chill, she looks like a predator. The bone fragments begin to pop out of her elbows and out of her spine, and her back begins to hunch.
ST, have I seen you?
You've dealt with Tzimisce in the past.
As she's walking out, as she's walking away, Bane is going to get behind her and whisper in her ear, "If you cause me trouble, Ari."
Promise I won't. You have a dragon's honor.
And for the record, Logan's not going to be able to get to Alannah for quite a while.
1, torpor. 2, bodies missing. So he could be anywhere at this point.
That's rather a shame, isn't it?
It's not the Camarilla.
Can Alex do an insight check on Ari with that comment?
Fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow y'all to roll insight checks. What's an insight checks? And I'm going to roll her. I'm going to roll her manipulation and subterfuge to see how good Miss Ariana is at
Your
keeping that
successes
smile.
from all of us.
Love that for all of you.
I'm gonna spend a willpower just to reroll 1.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I will too.
I'll reroll 2, why not?
Yeah,
Fuck
I just
with
2
ball.
for me.
Nope.
3 successes total for me.
Oh.
I think as you're doing this, Bane is like trying to calm her down as much as she can before she goes off to the pit, making her promise that she's not going to cause him a problem as she did. As you'll turn back to the coterie, letting her begin to leave.
You can all
You gonna
tell.
reroll that legacy?
I might let her spend a willpower. It's fine. It's fine. With 2 successes, anybody who rolled 2 or above,
Literally all of us.
yep. There is a sick and almost twisted of joy that she gets out of hearing that he's missing. She tries to remain stagnant, but the way that her body's kind of transformed makes it a little bit harder for her to hide that. It's almost you can tell just with this look, whatever it is that happened to him, she is extremely pleased with. I am going to go and crack a few punching bags, if you don't mind, Baron.
Please.
And her fingers crack, and then as she goes to move, you can hear the cracking and creaking of the bones as she begins to kind of roll her shoulders back and move her hands up and down, and those nails are long and jagged and black. And the moment that she thinks that nobody can see her, and you guys can all see her, her smile drops and her eyes go like daunt, and she makes her way upstairs.
So option number 2?
I think Bane probably comes back in the room and shuts the door behind him, getting back into the position he was before, looking at the coterie as Alannah says option 2.
I'm okay with any
think-
of these options, really.
I think option 2 would suit us best.
You okay with option 2, Gabriel?
Yes, that'll be fine. And he kind of hugs the option 3 folder for a few seconds and then just kind of places it on the table.
Hey, if we get enough money together, maybe we could even purchase that particular bit of property if it isn't taken up by then.
Well, yes, that would be quite nice. And kind of a little smile peeks up again.
Well, if you can make a tempting offer at some point within your own life, while it's in my control, I wouldn't mind doing business with you or any of you who wishes to buy it.
Great.
But I'm guessing you're going with the second folder.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that's our choice.
He nods. Picking up the book that had the Thin Blood alchemy in it. Just looking at it, thinking to himself, I was going to give this to you if you chose the hospital. But since I gave Alannah a gift, as he looks at you and smiles,
Smile back.
I guess it's only right to give you that have the alchemy a gift. As he will like underhand throw it across the table, like landing where the folders were. Take it. It's yours.
Well, that's again very generous of you, Bane. And he'll kind of go over and pick it up and immediately kind of open it and begin to read, kind of just in front of everyone.
Sure. I think he just smiles when he says that. When you say that, and take the look, as he looks at Ivy and Alex, and says, "Well, if you have any questions for me, please, since I am here and I have the time, before I show you your New Haven."
An incredibly important question.
Then I may have an incredibly important answer for you.
Is Tommy important to you? The one that was in the pit with Jess.
He's important to her, so kinda. Why?
Because I'd very much like to go and rip the head off of the man who murdered me.
I think when you say that, Alex, you see him. The smile is gone. He looks at you. Almost, he's not sizing you up, but like he's seeing like if you're close to basically ripping the door open and basically charging him into the pit.
With the critical success on the willpower, he's still cool and calm for right now, but he looks like he's waiting for an answer. Or waiting for this conversation to be done.
How important is Tommy to Bane? Us two.
How important is Jess to Bane is the question.
Okay. Alex, he's gonna look at you, putting his hands in his pockets. Says, "Are you going to kill him? If you get the chance to."
I can't deny it would probably make me feel really, really good. I don't know. I do know that I'd very much like to make him hurt. He took a lot from me.
Most sides do, Alex. But are you going to take everything from him? Because he took something from you.
He didn't just take something from me. He made me something horrible.
There are worse creatures, Alex. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know some. As he looks at you like seriously.
I want to work with you, Bane. I respect you and Jess. But it's going to be hard to look at my murderer and look at the one who fed me the most important woman in my life as my first meal in this on life.
He looks at you and then looks at the table and then moves his tongue around his mouth and then looks back at you. Is this person dead?
I was unable to control myself. I drank every drop.
And I think you and I are closer than you think. As he looks at you, Alex, with the same look that you're giving him, it's almost like you're looking in a mirror. But he looks at you and says, before you rip the head off a kindred, would you at least have a conversation with the person who is at least connected to that being Jess.
I think at the very least I owe her that much.
You know. As he looks at the rest of the coterie. Well. Here is the details for your new haven, password, stuff like that. Internet, you know, the works. The address should be in the folder. You can take it with you. But, handbag, Alex. I'll get Jess for you. As Bane will leave the room, and I think he'll basically call Jess, and it's probably the first time he's looked at her with like, come the fuck here.
Listen, I'm sorry. You know, the collar that he had on was a. Oh, hey, y'all. What's up? I didn't do it.
Let me talk to you real quick before you talk to your punching bag. As he pulls you, he literally grabs her shoulder. He grabs her shoulder and pulls her to the side.
Wow, you never handle me this rough.
Shut up. As
serious.
He will inform her about Alex.
Okay, all right, cool. It takes a couple of minutes, but Alex, Jess pops her head back into the room and gestures for you to follow her.
And he will.
Bane's probably going to go back to the coterie and say, we have a section of this club where you can chill out, have a drink, blood if you need it. Please, as he's talking to her, I would like to try and give you something.
Yeah. Sounds good.
He nods and he'll lead them to basically the R&R place of the Anarchs, which is basically a bar and some blood bags in the back.
Yeah. Right. We're gonna cut to Alex. Jess leads you into another office. This one having older photos, Polaroids of it looks like Jess and a group of other kindred. There are a couple of other photos that she has just kind of like sprawled around the room. Her and a couple of guys. Her hugging some guy in a leather jacket. A couple of teeth tied by a string and hanging on a wall.
Human teeth?
Nope. These look like canines.
Ooh.
And she gestures for you to sit, and she plants her ass on the desk right in front of the chair that she gestures for you to take a seat at.
He will sit down and will just be looking at her face, just very blank-faced.
Okay. I heard about your situation. Alex, I think that you and I need to have a long talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
I want to start by... I know that it's not going to mean jack shit coming from me. But I would like to apologize to you on behalf of Tommy. And I will say that it was not his choice to do what he did to you. I also think that you need to know something. Tommy is my childer. Meaning that you are my grandchilder.
Of course.
Also meaning I'm never going to expect you to forgive him. Because no matter the context, what he did was wrong. And I know what it's like to lose, to feel like you've lost everything. It's fucked. It makes you feel raw. And you never quite get over it. Even if your beast tells you that you need to. I would personally appreciate if you didn't try to kill him. I might be a little bit biased though. I don't have many of my childhood left. They all died during the 2012, and I couldn't protect them. Tommy's all I have left. And now you, technically. You're a part of my bloodline, honey.
Diluted as it is.
Don't matter. Blood's still blood. It came from somewhere, right?
I guess. What am I supposed to do here? Just act like it didn't happen?
No. You know what you do? You do it the Brujah way. You settle out your differences in hand-to-hand combat, but you don't kill. You don't let that thing inside of you, that desire to get revenge, win. Because the moment that you do, it's a downward spiral. I've had coterie members kill in the name of vengeance, and it did nothing but make their beasts consume them, and the next thing you know, I have to put them down because they've gone too far. And it's not a good feeling when you let that beast go completely. I know. Trust me. You've got a Brujah's blood, and I know that anger that you are feeling, boy. I've felt it. It sits in my bones. It sits in my blood. It sits in yours, whether you like it or not. You want to take it out on him? You two can duke it out. But do you really want to lose yourself more?
No. I want him to hurt.
Yeah, honey, you can make him hurt. Fuck, he's pissed me off a couple times in the last couple days too. Make him hurt. Make him answer for what he did. I'm not saying that you can't. get your frustrations out. Hell, sometimes it's good to let a little bit of the beast go. Sometimes it's good to go and kick trash cans and punch faces. But don't let it control you. Don't let the anger control you, because then you start regretting decisions. And those decisions could lead to real bad stuff. I heard about your friend, Bane. Kind of filled me in on some stuff.
Her name was Nadia. I was going to ask her to marry me.
Oh, honey. Oh, Alex, I'm so sorry. My heart breaks for you. It's still there. Despite what some of the people in this shithole might say. But it does. I want to know something. Do you want to be in touch with your family line?
Yes. I figure that I could learn more from those who have been around longer, who know more. I'm fucking sick of being in the dark and stumbling into fuck-ups.
Okay, then let me give you a gift, first of all. So I grew up in Chicago. Well, I spent the first 6 months of my life in Chicago. Back then I was a member of the Camarilla.
Gross.
Oh God, yeah, you're telling me that was the worst year and a half of my life. And she opens the door and she actually pulls out a book and slides it over. When I was attending my very first Elysium, I met the Bruja Primogen of Chicago. I, at the time, was an independent. And when I met him, he gifted me this book. And she slides him over a copy, like a really worn out copy of Don Quixote.
And this is the guy that fought windmills?
Yeah. He told me that in order to understand what it means to be a member of we need to gain the knowledge and insight of the world around us first, and then he gifted that to me. And then I had some really weird guy gift me a book of something to praise Cain, whatever. In order for you to understand the line of blood that you are a part of, I need you to be able to put the work into study. Expand your knowledge. Because you, my friend, are tied to a very, very important elder.
I will. I'm honestly kind of surprised. No offense, but from everything I've seen around here, the Brujah have been just, violent and loud.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting studying.
Here's the thing. We can be loud, we can be violent, but in my opinion, the best Brujah are the ones that are willing to study the issues in which they're yelling and screaming about.
Fair enough.
I mean, think about it. Don Quixote, the man of La Mancha himself, he was a scholar who was driven to madness and eventually found himself getting angry at the world around him for no apparent reason, and that's what a lot of people think what it means to be a Brujah. I don't necessarily think that's what that means. I think that it means that you're just passionate and you're willing to show that passion, hopefully in a smart way, but you're passionate. I will help you if you want me to.
I'd appreciate it. My problem isn't with you.
I know.
And I won't kill Tommy. I might take a few swings at him, take any chance I can get to remind him that he's a piece of shit. But he can keep walking.
Thank you, my comment with Tommy. Then you think.
Yeah.
He's a special boy.
He's gonna be a hurdy boy here in a few minutes.
Go too far, so will you.
I'll keep not the kid gloves, but I won't kill him.
Good. Because I don't mind kicking the ass of my own. You saw how I was treating him.
Yeah, that was fun to see.
Yeah, well, sometimes a little shit's got to be dealt with like a little shit, so. You know, like, don't tell Bane, but, under his pillow, he's gonna be greeted by a glitter bomb.
Oh, he's gonna kill someone.
Oh, it ain't gonna be me. It's fine. Glitter washes out eventually after 5 years, but it washes out eventually.
You're Afno's friend. I want to get out of town for a while.
Nah, she'll be fine. It was the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I got to keep him on his toes. How do you think I've managed to stay in the power things I have?
That's fair. We should probably get back before they're wondering if you're killing me or something.
Oh yeah. But before we do, welcome to the family. And she'll
Not
put
the group
it
I was
on.
expecting to hear that from.
Oh, well, you are part of my family. Whether you like it or not, you're stuck with me.
God damn.
I know, you're so sad.
How great. Now I've got 2 sassy grandmothers.
Hey, listen. Don't look bad for... Oh, fuck, how old am I?
I didn't ask.
I'm only 49, 50 years old.
Okay, then yeah, you're doing pretty good for yourself.
Yeah. I don't think I look a day over the age of 24. And it's true. She looks younger than you.
Fair.
Come on. let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And she kind of takes you and does like that, rests an arm on your back and gives it a couple of pats and leads you out of the room. You all find yourself hanging out in the parlor, or in the bar, and eventually Ari does join the lot of you again, and it looks normal. Her hair's pulled back. She looks like she's like rubbing her arms and everything, but she looks normal.
How does she look mentally wise? Like
Drained.
body language. Yeah.
Drain, yeah. And you don't know if that's just from the mentality that she was in, or if it's because like she had to kind of like pop a bunch of bones back into place.
Yeah. I think Bane says nothing and just places like a glass of blood just in front of her.
Oh, thank you.
Drink it slow. But it'll turn to the rest of the group, I imagine. Like there's like sofas, like booths, stalls at the very front of the bar as well. It's definitely giving off like probably like a motorcycle club, like parlor bar than anything else. But he just looks at the rest of them like as he plays bartender and just says, well, since your friend is talking to Jess, do any of you have any questions for me? Whether it be related to business or, well, anything you just want to ask.
Alannah will sort of, having gotten a glass of whatever alcohol she felt like at the bar, because she can still drink it, just sort of raise it in a bit of a toast to you and say, I think for now, I'm good.
You know,
I'll have more questions later, but enjoy the rest of my night.
he just looks at Ivy and Gabriel.
Well, I was wondering if you found anything out about the missing kindred.
I think he's put work into it, but I don't think I have ST.
Not yet.
He just looks at Gabriel and says, I have my people working on it, however, it's a slow process trying to find a kindred in a massive city like London.
Yes. It will probably take quite a lot to look into. I understand. May I say, Baron or Bane, I know you spoke earlier about the Sabbat, but from how they talked about the Anarchs, they don't seem to have any problems with you, and perhaps if it ever comes up, if the Camarilla become more of a threat, perhaps you should open a dialogue.
I think Bane takes that in as he probably cleans a glass. Looks over at Ari and then back over at you. I wouldn't be opposed to talking with whoever leads the Sabbat, but it's definitely... We're on neutral terms, we're not on friendly, or we are enemies. But, well, let's just say for the most part, the Anarchs have been keeping out of the way. Keeping out of their territory, as well as the Camarilla, since most of my people have bad experiences with both sects.
Yes, from what little I know about the histories of the sects, I can imagine there's a lot of bad blood on all sides.
The three of us do share a very long and vast history. I'll say that.
Well, you know, the saying, an eye for an eye, it'll leave the world blind.
That is very true, but I imagine someone in the Sabbat or even a Sumitsu would say that even eyes grow back with enough blood.
Gabriel actually, chuckle at that and then kind of stop himself.
He will smile, he's not serious as he says this, but you can tell, it's definitely in our predicament. It's something that is common, but he will just look at you and say, well, I imagine at some point I would have to meet the... What do they call themselves? Not pariah, bishop. Right? Of the Sabbat. The one who leads it.
Archbishop.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yes, and if you're ever interested to move forward, I could pass on a message to the lady. She is a very kind person, and I'm sure the two of you could get along.
Interesting.
It's kind of you're not sure if she just kind of choked on her liquor or kind of laughed into her glass at that moment.
Also, can I just say, Vampire Pope is not something I expected to have on my list of things I saw in any sort of life I've ever lived.
Yes, it's strange, but so are all of we. Huh.
Alex, you get to make your way back into the bar. Jess by your side. And she leans over the actual counter of the bar and offers you all a smile. So I hear that we got some new members.
Oh, I think he's already taken by the Sabbat. As he gestures to Gabriel, but she can see that he does not have any hostility towards him. But he looks at Alannah and says, maybe one, but the other two, I'm not quite sure.
And Alannah will look at Alex and Ivy and kind of just shrug. It's kind of I think it's a full conversation that the rest of us need to have. But I know what side I'm going to pull for.
And I know what side is getting a fuck no from me.
Same here.
Wonderful. Well, gotta go upstairs. I'm not done beating the shit out of Tommy yet, so,
Save something for me.
Well, you'll get him next time.
Yeah, we'll see. I might have to kick the shit out of you for a while. There's been a lot happening.
I think Bane just chuckles to himself.
I'm not kicking the shit out of anyone.
We'll work on that.
Damn, what the? What kind of coterie that did you get, Bane?
The chuckle fucks for a reason, but as he does lean into her ear, he will whisper that he wants to talk to her later.
Oh. I didn't do it. And she pushes back and walks away from the bar. Alex.
Yo.
3 days from now, training starts. 8 p.m. Do not be late.
Yes, ma'am.
The other three of you, y'all have a safe and pleasant evening.
You too.
And thank you. And welcome. And good luck. and she'll wave the 5 of you off. And not even a full minute later, Becky runs in to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Bane, Baron,
Yes, Becky.
we've got a situation.
Speak. As he immediately gets serious.
Couple buildings on the strip are burning.
What?
Alannah. I want you to roll me a d10 and just tell me what number you got.
Okay. Eight.
Okay. The strip is where one of those havens were.
Okay.
It's where Ari's shop is.
Oh.
I think for the first time you see Bane get pissed. As you see him just almost grip onto the bar as he just snaps a bit of the bar off. As you see him just almost like with a snarl look at Becky and says, "Tell the jackals to move. Tell Jess to be ready." As he just walks out.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to witness a barroom blitz.
Oh boy.
And all you see is Ari stand up, smile, and she snaps the table that she was sitting at in half. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this ought to be interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Never a dull moment in London.
Yeah, there really isn't.
Yeah, Ivy's already got a knife in each.
And you all rush with haste to the strip.
Mm-hmm.
The entirety of it is up in flames. Businesses that belong to Kine are on fire. The tattoo shop is turning to a charcoaled bit. Everything is up. Bane, Becky, and Ari stay a couple dozen feet away to keep themselves from all out frenzying.
Gabriel, same. Gabriel should do the same.
Right.
As we get close, Ivy's gonna look to him to stay back.
Yeah, Gabriel, knowing with the fire and how he can respond, he'll immediately just kind of turn away and stay back.
the brimstone, the ash, the flickers of light. You all see a major shopping strip in London up in disarray and destruction, filling this part of the city with smoke. And we are going to end it here tonight. Thank you all for a phenomenal season 1. We hope that you enjoyed watching our ragtag team of misfits begin to figure their way around the ever screaming world of darkness. Good night. Stay safe. And we will see you on season 2.